left your mark, reminding me to forget. It doesn't matter where you are, you can keep my regret. Baby, I got these scars, reminding me to forget. You left your Remember, I told you to save it, it's over, and I'll be alright. So hurt me as much as you like, I need you to let go. I got things we're meant to, but I'll be alright. Yeah. Baby, it hits so hard, I'm holding on to my chest. Baby, you left your mark.
Graduands and guests, I now invite you to stand for the arrival of the University Procession.
Please be seated. Chancellor, University Council, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, senior officers, academic and professional staff, graduands, families and your friends. It is with pleasure that I welcome you to Victoria University's graduation ceremony for the College of Health and Biomedicine. My name is Naomi Dempsey. I'm the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Students at VU, and I'm also your MC today. On behalf of my fellow Victoria University staff, I extend a warm welcome and congratulate all graduates on their achievements today. I would also like to warmly welcome family, friends in the VU community who have joined us today in celebration via the live stream. For all our families with young children, it is a family event, and we understand that they may want to stretch their legs and get a bit noisy. Please see our ushers and they will help you during the ceremony. It can get long in here. As a mark of respect to Australia's Indigenous people, we acknowledge the ancestors, elders and families of the Boorwurrung and Woiwurrung of the Kulin, who are the traditional owners of university land. As we share our own knowledge practices within the university, may we pay respect to the deep knowledge embedded within the Aboriginal community and their ownership of country. We acknowledge that the land which we meet is a place of age-old ceremonies of celebration, initiation and renewal, and that the Kulin people's living culture has a unique role in the life of this region. Before we commence today's proceedings, I would like to invite Ms. Janet Galpin with the Boorwurrung Foundation to deliver the welcome to country. Welcome, Janet.
Thank you, Naomi. Chancellor, Mr. George Pappas, AO. Waminchaka. Waminchaka is the Boonwurrung language word for welcome. I am here today representing Parbanata, Carolyn Briggs, AM, the elder of the Boonwurrung and Yalukit Whelan clan. I would like to pay my respect to my ancestors and to all of you here today for the Victoria University graduation for the College of Health and Biomedicine. Also to my elders, past, present, future, and to any emerging leaders of our communities that are present here today. As a representative and family member of the Boonwurrung, Melbourne's First People, I am pleased to be able to welcome you here today. We are especially pleased to recognise the commitment that you have made here today in paying respect to the spirit of this land and to its First Peoples. Through this, you have shown the willingness to honour sacred ground. Today we stand on Boonwurrung country and we share also with Woiwurrung the Wurundjeri. This country is unceded land. This country has not been formally surrendered. The Boonwurrung are custodians of the land that stretches from the Wilson's Promontory to the mouth of the Werribee River, encompassing both of our beautiful bays, Western Port and Port Phillip. So when you're walking or travelling around our country, you have been welcomed by us for all of your journeys. I also want to speak with you today about the 4 values that we all share: celebrating, honouring, respecting and learning. Today we're celebrating this event and we are all also honouring sacred ground. By doing this, we honour our community. Today is also a day of learning, and through learning we respect each other. It is important for Victorians and guests to understand and appreciate the history and the culture of the First Peoples of Melbourne, who played a very significant role in the development of Melbourne, both before and after European arrival. But unfortunately, they are unknown to many people who live in this land. The struggle to preserve not only their culture, but their cultural heritage and also traditions began with the ancestors in the 1830s. One of the lessons that we should take from this struggle was the way that the elders and the leaders of the day worked together and forged alliances that led to many of the achievements that we all take for granted today. As Australians, while we may have all descended from different clans, different language groups, and from countries all across the world, we can all learn from this lesson from our elders and the leaders of the days past in the respect to them working together. The word welcome in Bunwurrung is Wominjeka, as I stated earlier, but it also has another translation, and that is to come with purpose. So a welcome is an age-old tradition that would be going back anywhere from 40, 60, 100,000 years ago. So this is actually a very important ceremony that we are conducting today. There were 250 nations across Australia, and if you wish to move from one country to the next, you needed to present at the borders, and you had to state for what purpose do you want to come onto country. And you would have to explain your reasons for being on country, and then you would be given a traditional welcome. Normally also there would be a smoking ceremony, and ceremonies sometimes would be conducted over a couple of days. So it was a very huge part of being able to move from one country to the next. It is also a contract between the people as the custodians of this land and yourselves, to ensure that our laws are adhered to and to guarantee safe passage for those who ask. According to tradition, this land has always been protected by the creator Bunjil, who travels as the eagle, and our waterways are protected by one who travels as the crow. Bunjil taught the Bunwurrung to always welcome guests, but he required that the Bunwurrung ask all guests to make two promises that I will ask of you here today, and that is to obey the laws of Bunjil, to not harm the land of Bunjil, and to not harm the children of Bunjil. This commitment was made by a small bow being dipped in the waters and the spoken words, Wominjeka. Thank you everybody, and congratulations. We now welcome to the stage Brent Watkins from Culture Evolve, who's going to play some beautiful didgeridoo for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet and Brent. I would now like to invite Ms. Jackie Lauder to deliver today's occasional address. Jackie Lauder has been a practicing psychologist for 16 years, specialising in eating disorders, chronic fatigue syndrome, athletic transitions into retirement and entry into elite sport, motorsport, critical incident management, performing arts and children's sport. Completing a graduate diploma in applied psychology and a Masters of Applied Psychology, Sport from Victoria University in 1998 and 2000, Jackie has an esteemed career and is regularly called upon by media outlets for expert commentary on performance issues in elite sport, and co-hosts The Science of Sport on SEN Radio every Sunday morning from October to March. Jackie has had a diverse range of experiences working as a psychologist with athletes and teams at the elite level. That has included AFL football, National League netball, and at World University, Commonwealth and Olympic Games teams. The National Institute of Circus Arts, Motorcycling Australia and the Elite Performance Academy, and on their national circuits, as well as the Melbourne Storm NRL team, to name a few. Currently at Olympic Park Sports Medicine Centre, Jackie is head of the Allied Health Department and sits on the board of directors, and is a chair for the Victorian College of Sport and Exercise Psychologists. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Jackie Lauder.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, graduates, family and friends, thank you so much for asking me to speak today. It's a real privilege. It's very tiring actually listening to your own profile being read back to you. It feels like it was only yesterday I was sitting in your seat, but the good thing was coming in here today, I'm used to coming into football music and everything else, so this is quite dignified. However, at the end of the national anthem, I was waiting for people to yell out, "Go Pies." So, unfortunately, that didn't happen. When I look back on my career, I remember sitting in the seats that you guys are sitting in today and listening to people speak and thinking, I knew what I wanted to do and I knew where I wanted to work. And standing here today, I've achieved pretty much most of the things that I wanted to achieve, but it's certainly been a pretty long road. Lucky my family were Collingwood supporters and I learnt patience. When I first left school and wanted to do a double degree in sports science and psychology, it's now offered at Victoria Uni, but the only place I could go initially was Ballarat. So I packed my bags at 18 and headed off to the country. My neighbours were dogs, horses, chickens, nothing like I'd had in Melbourne. I was at that time also doing State League netball, so I was travelling to and from Ballarat 4 times a week, getting up at 5 a.m, going to the university, coming back, doing netball training. I did that for a few years. I knew the Western Highway like the back of my hand. And one of the things I think I learnt in all of that was that if I stuck to the course that I wanted, then I'd get where I wanted to go, my opportunities would come, and I think that's the biggest thing for me is just having some patience. The students that I've met along the way who are now colleagues, who are now friends, who are now peers, has been probably the best part of my journey. And I think when I eventually worked my way back, so after Ballarat, I ended up at Victoria Uni in Werribee. I figured I'd go halfway and then eventually get back to Melbourne. And I did an organisational psychology degree there. And the good thing was I decided if I wanted to work in sport, organisational psych was the best place to be because sport is full of systems. And that's exactly what I learnt. We do a lot of recruiting, so all the skills that I learnt there, I've then been able to carry through. Eventually I worked my way back to Melbourne, and Victoria Uni in the city is where I ended up doing my master's degree. So it was a really nice campus, well located. And now all the people that I've gone through I still stay in touch with, including all the lecturers and the course coordinators, and they're now my peers and the people that I go to for advice. It's also amazing to stand there and see some of them also in elite sport and achieving, and to be able to enjoy some of those things with them. I never expected probably some of the diversity that I've had. So I've worked with a number of the major sporting organisations. I spent 13 years at the National Circus Institute. I didn't know that we had that in Melbourne. I tell everyone I made the sad clowns happy. That was not my job. But we feed into companies like Circus Oz, Cirque du Soleil. That's not what I had in mind when I thought that I was doing performance psych. And I spent 13 years there and have only recently just moved on from there. I've been to Olympic Games, Commonwealth Games, World University Games, national titles, had opportunities overseas. And the one thing I have learnt is that the qualifications that we get here in Australia stand up worldwide. A number of years ago at an international sports site conference, Australian qualifications were actually acknowledged as the best in the world. So we lead the way in so many different areas, and hopefully a number of you realise that as you're going through your careers, that everything you've learnt in the last few years, you're getting high-class education. And the beauty about, I guess, being in Australia is that you can study whenever you want to. If I look back at some of the most amazing things through my career, I think it's the people that I've met. I've been so lucky to be next to some outstanding athletes, both nationally and internationally. I get to work with amazing coaches. And it's only now, probably 16 to 18 years on, that I've probably ended up exactly where I want to be. So being from Melbourne, I'm an AFL girl. That's what I've learnt. So switching across to NRL was a complete education for me. The only reason I followed Melbourne Storm was because they're the only team in Melbourne in that league. And I didn't mind the colour purple. Now I've got so used to it, I wear it all the time. My role there is incredible because I get to work with coaches, I get to work with athletes, I get to go out to amazing organisations, to stand there and see the people that you've worked with walk out and run out onto a field. As much as everybody hates us, that's something you learn in sport, is resilience. So to be able to do that for the last couple of years has been incredible, and hopefully this year we can continue that journey. When I started my career, I think probably the best story I can share with you is the ability to actually back yourself in. So when I was completing my 4th year, I decided that if I wanted to work in elite sport, the best team at that time was North Melbourne Football Club. Now, I didn't barrack for North Melbourne, and I lived in Doncaster. So North Melbourne was a fair way away, but what I did was I got a job at the local swimming pool, which backed onto the Oval. And every morning I would take the 5 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. shift, because that's when the players and the coaches came in, and that's when they did all their rehab and all their training. I ended up teaching the coach how to do tumble turns. And one day when he was leaving, I asked him if he could please grab the envelope that I'd left for him at reception and to give me a call. My heart was beating a million miles an hour, because at that stage he was the most prestigious coach in the AFL and probably the most scary. The next day I get a phone call while I'm driving down Hoddle Street, and I nearly ran into a light pole because these people do not ring my phone. So I get a phone call from Dennis Pagan from the North Melbourne Footy Club, who is the head coach, who said to me, "How are you doing for lunch this week? Would you like to come and join me?" My first thing was, oh my God, how do I tell my dad that I'm not going to Collingwood? And then I thought, well, that's okay, I'm not going to Carlton, so I'll be fine. So I went and met Dennis, and I had the qualifications to back me, but the reason that he gave me an opportunity was because he said that I actually had the courage to back my skills in and leave something for him. So I spent the next 5 years there, and in that time we won a premiership, we lost a grand final. We had a player who did something he probably shouldn't have done. We had another player bombed in Bali, so I learned a lot of critical incident management there. But what it set me up for was the ability to network. And I think that's probably my greatest strength, and the biggest skill I can encourage you guys to keep working at is never think that the person sitting next to you don't underestimate them, don't underrate them, because they could be the person employing you, they could be the person connecting you to where you want to go. And like I said, I didn't barrack for that club, I didn't really have anything to do with them. I didn't particularly like swim teaching, but that's what I ended up doing to be able to get me where I want to go, and I got a lot of small qualifications to allow me to do that. I've also had interviews with various clubs and various sports said to me in the past, "You're not going to ever work in AFL because you're a girl." That's totally changed now, thank goodness. That club was a club that actually at one stage gave me an opportunity that I ended up declining because I didn't like the way they ran their organisation. So I think when you get your knockbacks, and you're going to get those along the way, and I think you just need to have that resilience and just keep your eye on the bigger prize, on the bigger picture. When I first started, my theory was work as hard as you can, take every opportunity that you can, and don't say no to anything. I learned a very good lesson at the very start of my career because I ran myself into the ground because I didn't want to miss any opportunities. I ended up with chronic fatigue syndrome for 5 years and had to manage that through my career. And the thing that it also taught me is to have that patience and to be really selective with what I choose to do. I think I spent 5 months sleeping 19 hours a day at the first and thought, gosh, I'm not going to be made out for this if this is sport and this is what I've got to do all the time. I'd have 4 uniforms in the car, changing uniforms constantly, leaving the house at 5 a.m, getting home at 11 p.m. because I didn't want to miss those opportunities. If I didn't have that at the start of my career, I wouldn't be where I am now. So I think sometimes when you think everything's falling apart, it's actually falling into place because it's teaching you things that you might need for a little bit later down the track. One thing I did have all through my career, leading into all my study, I played a lot of sport at a decent level and I was the expert at getting injured. My friends actually celebrated when I had my first year in 10 years without an injury. So we actually went out to dinner and celebrated it because I played hard, I worked hard, that's what I did. But what it did do was it opened my eyes to a clinic that I decided I wanted to work at, which is Olympic Park Sports Medicine. And the reason I want to work there is because of my colleagues. I'm in a clinic every day with surgeons, with physios, with doctors, with dietitians, with massage therapists. We have a complete team approach. That clinic is now a business that I've invested in. It's a business that I sit on a board for, and it's where my passion is because every day I get to hear people's stories. My job is a complete privilege. People share with me things that they would never share with anybody else, and then you get to stand back and actually see them achieve. And that's not just the big achievements on a football field or on a tennis court or in a swimming pool or at an Olympic Games. It's actually the person who's been able to get opportunities in their life, to create relationships, to fix relationships, to overcome battles and illnesses and work through some of life's hardest things. So the clinic for me has been probably my biggest joy. I think if I look at what I'm most proud of, it's the relationships that I've created along the way. It's also being able to stand back and have the privilege of being part of an AFL Grand Final or an NRL Grand Final and sit back and see the people that you love and that you've worked with every day actually achieve what they want. And the thing I would say to all the graduates today is have a look in the room at who you have here supporting you. They're the people that have been there the whole way. They're the people that are going to be there at the end. They're going to love you genuinely just because you try something, not because you always achieve. And your success has to be determined by what's important for you, not what's important to everybody else. So those people that are supporting you today, I congratulate you as well because this is just as much your achievement as it is to the graduates. My parents have been there the whole way for me, and when I said to them I wanted to do sports psychology, they had absolutely no idea what that was. But not once did they question me. They helped me pack my bags. They were probably happy about that part. They helped me pack my bags. They helped me thrive. Every opportunity I could get, they travelled with me where they could, and I think they've had just as much joy, but it's been so nice for me to have them there along the way. If I could give you some advice moving forward, be prepared to be uncomfortable, because sometimes the things that you fear the most, that's actually where the answers are and where the things are that you really want. And I think I spend most of my life pretty uncomfortable, but I've got used to being comfortable with that. Listen with the same passion with which you want to be heard. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth, so the ratio should be 2 to 1. And I think we don't spend enough time listening to everyone else and too busy trying to tell everyone what we want to do and where we want to go. So listen with that passion. The other thing is along the way, you're going to be challenged, right? Maintain your moral compass. It will be challenged the whole way. And we certainly see it a lot in sport, whether it's bigger issues like drugs in sport or whether it's just maintaining someone's confidentiality or being that person that they can listen to. But somebody will want to challenge your morals because that works for them. So maintain your moral compass the whole way through. Surround yourself with really good people. We have people come into Melbourne Storm all the time, and the one thing they want to do is find the ingredient that actually makes us successful. And to be honest, the most simple answer I can give them is we genuinely care about each other. I love the people I work with every day. I appreciate them. We're encouraged, just like our players are, to be the best at what we do. Every single person in there wants to be the best in their industry and in their field. Volunteer and do ongoing professional development. My learning through university obviously taught me processes and structure, which has been amazing. But I think I do more study now than I ever did when I was at uni, because it's very specific. I'm looking for certain things, but never stop learning. I think I'm a complete nerd when I say that, but I think one of the things that I take pride in, which everyone at work probably laughs at me for, is I think I order more books and read more stuff than anyone else, and that's part of me being better than what I was yesterday. To the university staff who have actually educated you along the way, I congratulate you as well. Sometimes it's a challenge, I know, dealing with students, but these guys have shaped your journey, and they will be the people that along the way you can always go back to and ask them for advice. And I take great pride and privilege in being able to go back to the people that taught me, because I know that they've got my back, and I know that they're the ones that are going to lead the way and hand it over to me to lead the way to the next students. I wish you all the luck in the world. Congratulations on your achievement today, and may your forward journey be as successful as you would like it to be.
Thank you, Jackie. I would now like to welcome our Chancellor, Mr. George Pappas AO. The Chancellor's role is to chair the Council and to guide the strategic direction of the University.
Thank you, Naomi. Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, senior officers, staff, graduands, families and friends, can I also warmly welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Today is a day to celebrate. You've taken the opportunity that Victoria University has offered, and with hard work and determination, you've now achieved success. You've demonstrated a capacity to set goals and to achieve them. You've shown persistence and determination. You've learnt the art of juggling priorities, and many of you have overcome significant challenges in order to complete your studies. And these are not just qualities that have enabled you to gain your well-earned qualification, they are qualities that will assist you as you build your careers. Getting to today's ceremony is one of many successes that you will enjoy in life, so be proud of what you've achieved, and know that your parents, your families, your friends, and all the staff who've been a part of your time with us are equally delighted with what you have attained. You're graduating from a world-class university that is ranked in the top 2% of universities worldwide. We've established ourselves as one of the world's leading young universities, universities that are less than 50 years old. We're ranked number 45 in the worldwide Times Higher Education Young University rankings. And that's a pretty high ranking for such a young university like VU. In fact, there are 5 young universities in the state of Victoria, and we are ranked at the top of those 5. And this gives prestige to your qualification, and you can proudly claim that you're a graduate of one of the world's top universities. 2019 has been a big year for the growth and development of Victoria University as we continue our transformation. The mission of Victoria University has always been to provide outstanding educational opportunities for students from diverse countries, cultures, socio-economic and educational backgrounds. And while this mission has never changed, the way that we are delivering on this mission has changed for the 21st century. We've introduced the VU Way. The VU Way is a revolutionary new way to offer quality educational opportunities in block mode, engaged learning, one subject at a time, in small groups and not large lectures. And this model has been tremendously successful, with impressive increases in student attendance rates, student engagement, pass rates, and overall student outcomes. The VU block model is now to be implemented across all higher education and VU polytechnic courses by 2022. And we are greatly looking forward to being a part of the next wave of student success. Victoria University was born in and proudly remains the university for the west of Melbourne. While our reach and our aspirations are now global, we remain focused on our vision to deliver value by uplifting the communities in which we operate. This includes making exciting changes to our campus footprint, changes that will benefit both our students, our staff, and the communities that we serve. We've begun work on the City West Precinct on our Queen Street campus that will consolidate all of our CBD activities into a state-of-the-art facility and forge an even closer connection between the university and our western fringe of the CBD and all of our campuses across the west of Melbourne. To reinvigorate TAFE in Melbourne's west, we're building the Sunshine Skills Hub, which is a world-class training facility that will use leading-edge technology to deliver advanced training for tomorrow's workforce. It will increase collaboration with industry partnerships and refresh and strengthen the local community. On our Werribee campus, the Wyndham Tech School is up and running, servicing 20 partner schools to make STEM available to students in the region, with approximately 15,000 students having access to that school annually. We're also pleased that the new Footscray Hospital will be built on our Footscray Park campus, creating a world-class health and education precinct in the west. It's a significant addition to our vision of creating Footscray the university town, as well as bringing in substantial health and community benefits throughout our entire west of Melbourne heartland. Today, we're graduating students from the College of Health and Biomedicine. The college provides opportunities that make you job-ready with globally relevant skills, unique opportunities for students to have a positive impact on the world and to make real impact with our research. In the 2018 Excellence in Research for Australia rankings, our research strengths of nursing, medical physiology, and public health and health services received the highest possible rating, a rating of 5, which means well above world standard, and 3 other disciplines were ranked at world standard. But our success is also evident in our student success. Our paramedicine course is giving students international exposure, opportunities, and employment offers from around the world. In the last 12 months, 60 third-year students completed clinical placements in ambulance and emergency services in Canada, the USA, and Europe. The student-run Victoria University Midwifery Society held fundraising events throughout the year to raise money to fund a birthing kit assembly day. There's evidence from around the world that demonstrates that birthing kits prevent childbirth-related infections and improve health outcomes for mothers and babies by removing the barriers to accessing health services. The birthing kits were sent from us to aid women birthing in developing and remote areas, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa. Our students are also making waves in industry. Over 40% of the dermoscopists employed by Skin Smart Australia are VU qualified dermal clinicians, saving lives every day. And recent PhD graduate Robin Wilson has secured a postdoctoral position to continue his work at New York University, which has a prestigious track record in medical research. All of these things will contribute to our goal to be a great university of the 21st century. Today is about you, our students, the next generation of thinkers who will solve local and worldwide challenges and who will make your mark on the world in so many different sectors. And as you graduate and leave us to embark on your careers, just consider how you might use the skills that you've acquired to strengthen the communities from which you've come, or the new communities that you're destined to become part of. Today, just over 210 of you will graduate, and I encourage you to remain connected to the VU community as a member of the Alumni Association in order to continue to build your personal and professional networks. I have no doubt that you will be wonderful ambassadors for Victoria University. And I also have some words and some advice to the family and friends who are with us today. Family and friends, this is a very formal occasion, but it shouldn't be a boring occasion. We've just had the most boring part of the graduation ceremony, that is the Chancellor's speech. That's over and done with. Now, we have to get into celebration mode. Today is a day of celebration. In fact, in the little program outline that you've had on your seats, it says, cheer loud, celebrate. And can I encourage all of you, please, to celebrate as loudly and as enthusiastically as you can for every student who comes up on stage. I want to hear you clapping, I want to hear you cheering, and if you don't cheer as loudly and as enthusiastically as you can, you won't be invited back to any further graduation ceremonies. Now, all the graduands have observed that I've been calling you graduands, not graduates, because you haven't quite graduated yet, but you are about to. So graduands, please stand. This is the important part of the ceremony. And to help me in this important part, I call upon the chair of the academic board, Ms. Deborah Tyler, to present the authorised record of all conferred graduates for this ceremony and in absentia. Thank you, Deborah. And now we come to the important part. Because by virtue of the authority that is vested in me by the Council of Victoria University, I admit the duly authorised graduates to the appropriate awards and to all the rights and all of the privileges of those awards. Congratulations, you are now graduates. And that's the kind of enthusiastic applause I want to hear for every single graduate who comes up on stage. Now, graduates, behind you, around you, in the rest of this auditorium are your family and your friends and your supporters. You know where they are. I want you to turn around and face them, please, because I want you, the graduates, to give your friends and your family and your supporters a round of applause to say thank you. Thank you for your support in getting us here today. Graduates, you may resume your seats.
Thank you, Chancellor. I call upon the Acting Dean, Graduate Research, Associate Professor Deborah Zion, to present the research candidates.
Chancellor, I now present to you the doctoral graduands who have developed a systematic and critical understanding of a complex field of learning and specialised research skills for the advancement of learning and or for professional practice. I have taught them all. I'm overjoyed to see them here today. Chancellor, Yor Amankwa Arthur investigated the stigma of mental illness as a major public health problem confronting people with mental illness and their families worldwide. YOR conducted a novel cluster randomised trial and evaluation of a mental health literacy program with community leaders in Ghana. Study outcomes indicated improved knowledge about, attitudes towards, and supportiveness of people with mental illness and their families by these community leaders. Chancellor, Dr. YOR Amankwa Arthur. Chancellor, Linda Nicole Kyodo examined girls' interpretations of normative femininities, including their understandings of sexism and feminism, together with contributing to knowledge regarding the psychosocial well-being of girls and the impact of the current post-feminist and neoliberal climate of their subjectivity. This ethnographic study highlighted the ways in which the school environment and girls' peers inform their perceptions and performances of successful girlhood. Chancellor, Dr. Linda Nicole Kyodo. Chancellor. Cara Ray Dadswell collaborated with the Melbourne Fire Brigade's Juvenile Fire Awareness and Intervention Program to develop the Behaviour Risk Tool. This tool identifies young people at risk of repeated fire lighting by distinguishing low-risk firelighters from those for whom referral to mental health services is indicated. Cara is now employed as an academic teaching scholar in the first year college at Victoria University. Chancellor, Dr. Cara Ray Dadswell. Chancellor, Manpreet Kaur Grewal expanded the existing fundamental understandings of interactions among milk components, mainly proteins, that affect storage stability of long-life milk. She also developed a rapid tool for predicting its shelf life, which was much sought after by the dairy industry. This work has been publicised in highly rated journals, bringing international recognition, and has led to collaboration with several outstanding research institutions, including the NIZO Food Research and University College Cork in Ireland. Chancellor, Dr. Manpreet Kaur Grewal. Chancellor, Ursula May Harrison conducted in-depth qualitative research into women's experiences of empowerment through engagement with neighbourhood houses. She found that the participatory environment enabled the women to develop new understandings of themselves, contributing to a strengthened sense of agency and control in their personal, working and civic lives. The examiners described the thesis as a fine piece of work, well-researched and theorised. Chancellor, Dr. Ursula May Harrison. Chancellor, Dimitu Kumara Hewa Bogaha Watage investigated how raw cow's milk is processed prior to consumption to ensure food safety. Processing, however, can modify native properties of milk proteins and modulate allergies related to milk consumption. This thesis has established processing-induced modifications of milk proteins in relation to immunogenicity and potential allergies, thus providing guidelines for manufacturing of hypoallergenic and safe milk. Chancellor, Dr. Dimitu Kumara Hawa Bogaha Watage. Congratulations. Chancellor, Kate Rhiannon Kelly examined how the nature of visual information influences individuals' ability to effectively remember it. Subsequently, this thesis has made a significant contribution to the understanding of capacity for varied types of visual information. To facilitate this understanding, this project also developed a standardised electronic measure for visual assessment. Currently, Kate is employed as an academic teaching scholar at Victoria University and teaches psychology to first-year students. Chancellor, Dr. Kate Rhiannon Kelly. Chancellor, Rehanuma Taranum examined the issue of depression during pregnancy, which is a significant concern in Bangladesh. There are many women who have little or no access to treatment. Rehanuma conducted a pilot randomised controlled trial of an innovative peer-delivered program with 70 pregnant women. Outcomes showed that at post-intervention, the intervention group had a significant decrease in depressive symptoms and a slight increase in self-esteem and quality of life compared to the control group. Chancellor, Dr. Rehanuma Taranum. Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of the doctoral graduates. I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Deborah. I call upon the Vice President, Health, Sport and Active Living and Dean, College of Health and Biomedicine, Professor Karen Dodd.
Chancellor, I'm honoured to present the graduates from the College of Health and Biomedicine. The Bachelor of Applied Science, Ming Kong Yi. Bachelor of Biomedicine, Unkiao Christelle Bayempo. Bachelor of Health Science Paramedic, Jess Fitzgerald. Montana Rose Hines. Jaskirat Jasal. Miuma Tamturk. Jack Aiden Vanderbosch. Bachelor of Midwifery, Kadra Ahmed. Rebecca Bonici. Lauren Brown. Rebecca Brown. Jane Elizabeth Cairns. Jasmine Donna Capionio. Ashley Teresa DiMatteo. Galugak Nayadak. Kylie Rose Go. Ghislaine de las Mercedes Gonzalez. Marina Grashik. Rebecca Louise Harris. Eman Hayek. Sheridan Hesketh. Nicole Hillis. Shamin Hossain. Taruni Jani. Bridget Stephanie Jinks. Carly Johnson. Claire Elizabeth Jones. Hannah Elizabeth Jury. Rebecca Louise Lafulci. Nidhi Lakhanpal. Michaela John Laundre. Rochelle Tracy Lenfa. Hayley May Love. Sharon Match. Nikki Modinos. Amy Marie Moynihan Benson. Kelly Ann Needham. Natalie Pendowska. Marie Pigjon. Ramona Pop. Claudia Rizza. Imran Sentip. Jade Elise Soundry. Kimberly Ann Stevens. Megan Ann Stewart. Melanie Turnbull. Sarah Uzel. Jessica Joy Whitlock. Alicia Nuri Yeltsin-Kaya. Bachelor of Nursing, Hayat Abdul Qadir Ahmed. Narelle May Allen. Armanpreet. Suleiman Amiri. Anne Ogechi Anyorag. Redhar Arel Karel. Sonia Avok. Elizabeth Maria Bandis. Sukhvir Kaur Brar. Asta Bidertolki. Kevin Ross Cabanilla. Sarah Kachia. Gozde Chelatolglu. Melissa Jane Channa. Soren Emil Simempin. Keith Jefferson Custodiu. Dorita Amparo Kuzcano. Remy Jean de Harsus. Michelle de la Cruz. Amandeep Dwilwal. Kai Vuk Deep. Penny Lee Donny. Francie Veronica Eglisos. Hannah Lee Erickson. Bianca Alicia Evans. Rachel Naomi Fairfoot. Achala Premaranthan Fernando. Stephanie Rose Field. Samith Ganagoda. Aditi Garg. Miraf Burhanu Gerbamedin. Ashmita Girami Badanri. Stacey Goods. Joel Green. Shelley Ann Hallam. Chitoga Hall. Pri Lam Ho. Claire Wa Tusa. Lauren Hudson. Juan Anna Than Van. Jarena Chris John. Amina Ibrahim Kawaku. Deka D. Kalolo. Mehdi Karimi. Dixon Katumba. Jasvi Kaur. Jashandeep Kaur. Hajit Kaur. Elise Kay. Harbin Taka Kidayani. Eleni Cosmides. Angela Kukunaris. Lauren Karen Lamont. Jessica Lawrence. Tiffany Logham. Emily Melissa Lopez. Terry Morsidis. Kathleen Stella Montebello. Lucy Morris. Nadia Murad. Sudipta Muhari. Stephanie Lisa Naidu. Betty Nakato. Kim Than Yuen. Miriaku Miriam Waddell. Debbie Gay Asoba. Aaron Palmier. Bhargav Pachal. Fadzai Majri Fumbinzadeh. Ritu Paramar. Rachel Jane Pocox. Kajol Kritika Prakash. Sandeep Ratanpal. Caitlin Ashley Renkin. Mark Jamison Robison. Sarah Rosset. Emma Francis Ryan. Anita Saini. Tanya Alicia Salerno. Carl Jason Sanhosi. Nisha Sapkota Kandel. Geraldine Joy Sarmiento. Raja Joel Singh Savaranajan. Sajana Shrey Shirtha. Jessica Simone. Osa Sabjani. Vanessa Stefan. Adhu Angela Tat. Mona Lisa Tabeje. Annie Mae Tirado. Hirut Tesfaria. Ruby Tapa Maga. Jenny Tiat. Emilia Trekovaska. Sophie Rose Chewen. Kevin Edward Oy. Krista Veenan. Udara Wanakurawathan Wadaji. Navoda Shannon Wesaring. Weku Elizabeth. Rebecca Yang. Bachelor of Psychological Studies, Rupa Bhattarai. Megan Louise Deacon. Jake De Bruin. Jeremy Dizon. Kaylin Macaulay Jenkins. Kubra Kayar Garden. Ekol Kariu. Aisha Leong. Shannon Moira Muir. Ashley Nazim. Kubor Nyawela. Rangnapa Peck. Michelle Mary Susan Romeo Jazajic. Aaron Turner. Sherilyn Carleen Williams. Bachelor of Science, Biomedical Sciences, Yazir Wazir. Bachelor of Social Work, Victoria Joy Aegis. Shay Leslie Comley. Faduma Hassan. Hubbard. Karen Hutchinson. Taylor Ray Pocock. Miriam Philip Annie Sinnott. Jafar Thabak. Bachelor of Psychological Studies, Bachelor of Business Marketing, Jodie Gwen Gibbons. Rejoice Lominded. Bachelor of Psychological Studies Honours, Luke Stewart Blackley. Jodie Lee Shepherd. Master of Applied Psychology, Clinical Psychology, Melinda Sullivan. Master of Applied Psychology, Community Psychology, Dallas Ambry. Erin Kathleen Fitzpatrick. Trisnasari Fraser. Chrissia Kostrov. Phoebe Miller. Daniel John Morrison. Sarah Jane Smith. Master of Applied Psychology, Sports Psychology, Stephanie Jane Rice. Master of Health Science, Osteopathy, Brian Manchundin. Ginger Bridie Hansen. Timothy Jacobson Hender. Master of Professional Psychology, Helena Elizabeth Brace. Elena Cummins. Phoebe Dettering. Elizabeth Gomes O'Callaghan. Bianco Proschino. Master of Public Health, Global Nutrition and Active Living, Amanpreet Kaur. Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of graduates from the College of Health and Biomedicine.
invite Marie Pigden to speak on behalf of the graduates. Marie graduated today with a Bachelor of Midwifery. When Marie started the course, she had 2 young children and had her 3rd baby during her 2nd year. She returned to uni a week later with her baby to finish the semester and has now graduated with a string of HD grades, also a GPA of 6.6 out of a full score of 7. Welcome, Marie.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, distinguished guests, academics, teaching staff, fellow graduates, family and friends. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we stand. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and future. I am truly honoured to be speaking on behalf of my fellow graduates today. We have been through a tough but amazing journey together, and I feel so much pride in all of us for arriving at this point today. We made it. My decision to commence the Bachelor of Midwifery at this stage in my life was not easy, but it was inevitable. A seed was planted for me 9 years ago when I started my own family. I was in awe of the midwives who cared for me, and I knew in my heart that I was born to be a midwife. It had just taken me a little longer to realise it than some. It took some time, but eventually I had the courage to do something about it and make a change. My biggest fear was changing careers and being the only mature age student. I started researching universities, and what I discovered is that the cohort of students at Victoria University is wonderfully diverse. There would be a mix of school leavers, and there would be women like me who had realised their dream a little later in life. What I also discovered is that it wouldn't matter about our age or what we were doing before. The only thing that mattered is that we shared a common dream. We supported each other and we pushed each other to be better midwives and professionals, to consider what the future of midwifery could look like, and then to do everything in our power to achieve our dreams, strive to uphold our responsibilities as midwives and professionals, and provide women and family-centred care. I had my 3rd baby in 2nd semester of 2nd year. After a week of rest, I returned to uni with my beautiful baby boy and continued with my studies. This would not have been possible without the support of the wonderful teaching staff at Victoria University and the support of my beautiful colleagues and my husband, who took time off work to drive me to university and exams after I had a cesarean. I'm not the first. I am not the first nor the last student graduating today to have a baby during their course or to bring their children to uni. We have many honorary midwives out there who attended lectures and were cuddled through presentations. Hopefully they will be our future midwives. Words cannot express my gratitude for this support. I wouldn't be standing here today without it. In the toughest times, I reminded myself of the example I hope to impart on my own children. If you want something and you are willing to work hard and make sacrifices, the world is your oyster. You are never too old to make a change and to make a difference. To all the wonderful teaching staff at Victoria University, thank you for your support, your guidance, and for generously sharing your knowledge with us. We have gained so much from you. Aside from developing clinical skills, we have learned the importance of building strong relationships, professionally and with the women and families we care for. We have learned to be strong and to advocate when required. We have developed resilience, and we have learned to always be kind, and of the importance of empathy, impartiality, and empowerment. We will forever strive to be the best midwives and professionals that we can be. You have instilled in us a drive for continuous development and lifelong learning. On behalf of the graduates here today, I would like to say an enormous thank you to all our family and friends. Thank you for your constant support, for your words of encouragement, and for making sacrifices to enable us to achieve our dreams. Thanks for putting up with us when essays were due, during exam periods, and when navigating our way through placements. Personally, I would like to say thank you to my parents for always believing in me, for all the babysitting, for the school pickups, gymnastics drop-offs. And to my husband, thank you for your unwavering support, for reassuring me again and again that I probably haven't failed my exams, and for rearranging your whole life to work around me. Finally, to my fellow graduates, I am so proud of you all for getting to this point in your journey, and this is only the beginning for us. There have been many challenges along the way, whether you're balancing a family, full-time work, other interests and commitments, or some semblance of a social life. I admire you all for following your dreams, for your commitment and for your courage. I've had the privilege of working alongside many of you as fellow graduates already, and I can safely say the future is in excellent hands. Thank you for a wonderful 3 years. Enjoy today and bask in your success. You deserve it. Congratulations, graduating class of 2018. You are all amazing, and I wish you ongoing success and happiness in your future careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Marie. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Peter Dawkins, to read the charge to our new graduates.
Chancellor, can I ask all of the new graduates to stand, please? First, let me add my congratulations to you all on your graduation. Well done. I'm now going to read the charge to our graduates. I charge you as graduates of Victoria University to uphold our commitment to excellence in the way you use your knowledge, skills and capabilities in your chosen occupations and industries and in your further studies. To engagement by the way you use your knowledge, skills and capabilities for the benefit of local and global communities. And access, along with equity and respect, by the way you connect with people from diverse countries, cultures, socio-economic and educational backgrounds. Let it be known that you are now a graduate of Victoria University, defined by a commitment to excellence, engagement and access in everything you do. I charge you to make a difference to the world by modelling these values and behaviours and by being courageous in the way you play your part in solving problems in your work and in the broader community. Congratulations again, and please be seated.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. I would now like to welcome back our Chancellor, Mr. George Papaseo, to offer his final congratulations.
Thank you, Naomi. Well, I think as you're all realised, we're getting towards the end of our ceremony, and before we conclude, can I thank everyone here for your enthusiastic celebration. And in fact, you've done remarkably well. You've sat through the formal parts of the ceremony. You've paid attention to all of the speakers. And you've celebrated very enthusiastically, and for that I'm going to give you all a high distinction, which I think translates to a grade point of 7 out of 7. So well done to all of you, and next time there's an opportunity, you're all invited back. I'm going to ask the graduates to remain seated and give everybody else a final opportunity to show your enthusiasm and to celebrate. So would everybody else please stand? Graduates, please remain seated. Everybody else please stand. We're now going to give a standing ovation to our graduates to say congratulations for what you have achieved. Congratulations. Thank you all. Please resume your seats.
Chancellor, that brings to a close the formal proceedings of this graduation ceremony. On behalf of the Chancellor, I extend an invitation to all graduates and your guests to join him and the university procession up in the view which is on level 4 of this building. Up there we will have some refreshments. For safety reasons, I ask guests to remain in their places until the university procession and the new graduates have left the atrium. Guests will then be invited to leave once the procession and all graduates have departed. Would everyone now please stand?